Hello, my name is Victoria Phillips and I'm Head of Property Management for John G. Wood and Associated Brands.
Hello, my name's Charlotte Hudson. I'm Associate Director for Lettings Compliance and Pre-Tenancy for John D. Wood and Associated Brands.
We're going to have a little chat about the renters' rights.
There are.
And property management. We'll try and keep it as succinct as possible because we do like a chat. Charlotte, how's the RA been for you?
Oh, long time coming. So we've been talking about the Renters' Rights Act for the best part of 5 years. Mm-hmm. So actually, for me, it's quite refreshing that we're there and it's in place now, and we're really understanding what it means for our clients and for our tenants, and we're in a really good position to be able to give them advice and guide them through the changes that we've been waiting to see.
I think we've had quite a few housing secretaries in that 5 years, so it has changed time and time again, and it will keep changing. But I think that's the one thing we are very good at as an industry. We're very good at adapting. Yeah. We roll with the punches. We adapt, we change, and we grow ever stronger, which is possibly why you need to use property management.
100% agree. For me, it's really about finding an agent who can guide you through these changes, someone who is going to support you, who's going to listen to your individual circumstances as a landlord or a tenant, and be placed to give you best advice. And I think that's something that we certainly do very well.
Yes, we worked out the other day that in the lettings leadership team, we have about 250 years of combined experience in the industry.
That's almost as many different types of legislation our landlords need to know about.
208 pieces.
208 pieces of legislation. I mean, lettings has never been more complex than it is now. So, as I said before, I think having a really strong property management team and having a really trusted agent to guide you through those changes has never ever been more important than it is today.
No, absolutely. And I think with the renters' rights, we've had to kind of relearn our jobs. Which is why when I hear landlords saying, "No, I can do it myself," it's really difficult to do this without support, without a colleague to bounce things off. At the moment with this legislation, it's brand new. We don't have any test cases. We don't have any case studies. We don't know how judges, how local councils are going to implement the legislation. So we have to really pressure test everything we do. Every notice that we send now is going to go through about 3 checks for us.
Yep, absolutely.
And that is something that, as a landlord, if you're doing it on your own, you're going to need the help with that. I'm afraid there's no two ways about it. No. Whether you're paying for a solicitor or you're going on the internet, ChatGPT isn't always your friend.
No, it's not. And I think we've learned that the hard way. We've seen a lot of rogue information, unfortunately, on ChatGPT because it just pulls source from everywhere. And I think, for me, it's actually a full-time job for me at the moment. It's something I've been living and breathing since summer last year, 30, 40 hours a week. So, yeah, as you say, if I was a landlord going at it alone, I'd be a little bit worried about, how many different types of legislation and what's around the corner, and having someone to guide me through, or just someone to talk to, someone to bounce that off, someone to understand, my individual circumstances and what I'm going through, and how that fits with me and what's best for me is really, really important.
We had our landlord event recently where we all had
great event
queues of people.
That was such a great event, and we had 150 people turn out. All looking for that reassurance and a piece of advice and someone to talk to. I mean, for us, we presented, but actually what I found really useful was afterwards, the amount of people that wanted to come and talk to us one-on-one and tell us about their individual circumstances and ask questions, what it means to me, not what does the legislation say or how do I interpret that, but what does that actually mean to me and how do I take the next step to make sure I'm doing things, get the right way and staying within the guidelines of a legislation that we're all learning for the first time.
Exactly. Yeah, and getting that personal take on it, wasn't it? I had a queue of people wanting to talk to me about property management, so that was exciting. And understanding about our out-of-hours contractors and how we propose to protect landlords, the different insurance policies that are available to them, rent protection. There is so much that we can advise you on, and I think now's the time to really engage with your agent.
100%. It's never been more important than it is now to work with an agent that you know and that you trust.
Okay, Charlotte, our renters' rights guru, what are the 5 main changes that are going to impact our landlords
Okay, so the biggest changes that came in on the 1st of May, firstly, is the change from all assured short hold tenancies to assured periodic tenancy. So what that means is that instead of having a fixed term tenancy, they roll on a periodic basis. So that's probably the biggest change we're going to see. We're just going to have to get used to not talking about a fixed end date, and that gives tenants a lot more flexibility to be able to move in a shorter time frame, which can work for a lot of our landlords. The second biggest change has been the abolishment of Section 21s, and I think that's been the thing that most people have worried about. Section 21s have been a bit of a safety net. If you're not sure how your tenancy is going, you just use a Section 21 and start again. And I think the worry's been there that with that being taken away, that landlords and tenants are not going to have as much flexibility to move, but that's not the case. Most cases, a Section 8 notice will do exactly the same as what a Section 21 would. It will give you a reason to end a tenancy. You just have to go through a slightly more detailed approach to get there now. So I'd say that's the biggest change, but one that we are very, very well prepared for, and it's been around for a long time. So so pets is the next one. We're seeing a lot of tenants requesting pets. So one of the changes that's come in is that landlords have to be sort of more flexible and understanding with tenants' requests for pets. A ban on rental bidding, that's one of the other ones that's come in, and actually I think that opens up a much fairer market for our tenants. Getting the market price, getting the asking price right has never been more important. Making sure that you're getting really good advice from your agent and putting the property on at the right price for it to let. Can't take offers over the asking price now, so there's a ban on rental bidding. And also annual rent increases. I think it's really important for our landlords to ensure that they are increasing their rent on an annual basis and keeping up with market rents. So landlords will now have to do that via a Section 13 notice, which we can take care of.
And I think that's what a lot of landlords forget, that actually you will still be able to increase your rent. You will be able to do that much like you would have done a renewal. It just won't be a fixed term, it'd be a Section 13. And other than how you regain possession, not a lot else will change for landlords. And I think that's the thing, you have to cut through exactly what has changed, and actually you will still be able to regain possession of your property, and you will still be able to put your rent up. But if you do have any grey areas, that's where we come in.
That's where we come in, yeah. And the last part I was going to mention is the decent home standards. That's something that we'll see come into social housing. We'll see that come into the private rental sector by 2035. But again, it just means that we're ensuring that landlords and tenants are renting out good quality properties, getting good quality rental prices, and with a good property management team in place. Yeah. It's all taken care of.
Exactly. If you did have any questions about the Renters' Rights Act, the RA, please do get in touch and we'll be delighted to assist.